Welcome to this week's edition, the premiere edition of year number 6, Teddy.
Can you believe
the
that?
Sports Scoop Coaches Show.
You're getting old.
I'm getting that 7-year itch, baby. Okay,
Joining
we're getting
me
ready to go. Okay.
is the entertainer and comic of the crew,
Yeah,
Ted
yeah.
Hammond. And also with us, there's
nobody down there?
They didn't have any twin shirts left.
Well, we want our viewers to know we've had a couple months off now for the summer and starting the new high school season. And I left this one strictly up to my man, Teddy.
Yep.
And he said he thought there was one more year in the tank. So
Maybe.
Next year.
maybe.
Well, with that 7-year itch, we'll see it happen.
We'll see what happens.
But I did come up with a theme song for us.
All right, you're going to sing the first
well,
show,
we had 2 months off, and I'm just
like
thinking,
that.
okay. I remember Welcome Back, Cotter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that song is perfect for our show. Welcome back, Coogie.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Ba 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 ba. Welcome back. Ba 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 ba. Da 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 dum. Ba da 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 dum. Who loves you, Coogie? Who loves you, Coogie? I love you, Coogie. I love. Welcome back. Okay.
The man can do it all.
Yep.
That's something you haven't shown in the first 5 years.
I know.
Your
Well, I
boy.
have to work on the doggone lyrics. A little bit.
that's true.
Okay.
He's been practicing karaoke up at 12:57.
Well, and our producer just coming out of the wall this first show, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's missed it more than us.
Ah, shut up. Let's get to the sports talk.
Okay.
Well, Teddy,
Football.
yesterday, the start of the football season.
Fight,
You Blue Jays.
And the
Come on
Blue
and cheer.
Jays are
Woo,
flying
woo, woo,
high.
woo, woo. Look at that, baby. Yes, sir, they were yesterday, baby.
Waseca's coming off 2 years. They're 18-3 the last 2 years. The Jays opened down on the road at Albert Lee, a team that had not won a game last year.
And they might not win a game this
And
year.
they're going to struggle this year.
Yep.
Final, Waseca 34, Albert Lee nothing.
Good shutout for Eric Teeter's defense.
You betcha.
And we had some things we got to iron out a little bit because we got Marshall coming in this week. But overall, first game, we got rid of some mistakes. The nice thing was they took the opening drive, went right down the field. They chose to defer and to use the wind, obviously. They kicked off with the wind, and we went right down the field. And
Into
scored.
the wind,
Into
yeah,
the-
that's
yep.
great.
Yep. And boom, and then Chet Miller is going to be our place kicker. I don't know if you noticed that, but he's got a sweet lefty foot there. And
Long foot, yep.
Yep, went right through the uprights, no problem, and just like his golf swing. So started out well, and can't beat it. The only thing I wish is we'd have got an extra point there for 35, and we'd have had running time, okay? Because that game got to be pretty long.
You
there.
didn't wish that as much as we did up in the booth, Teddy.
Okay. But all in all, you get good. Jack Milbrett showed that he could still run, and Tristan Kincaid showed that there are hat tricks in football with interceptions, and he had the linebacking crew did a great job on defense. Corners did a great job. Up front, we got Benny Clayton came back out this year. He looked tough up there. You got Winiger, you got Barch, you got Bueller. Hey, things looking pretty good.
Of course, it's always fun the first game or two because you really don't know what anybody has. You're just basing it on what's back from last year. And my unofficial reporter on the street said that this could be one of Waseca's better offensive lines, he thought. And he said the key is there's nobody big. They're, all 6'1", 6'2", 200, 210. He said, but they're athletic, they're quick, and they're smart.
And they lifted weights.
Okay.
That's the big thing these days. You got to do that. You got it off the street, huh? I got mine at the Pheasant. That's where I got my scoop. Okay.
Yeah. Well, my Clint Link Luscious Lawn Care ace off the street, that is.
Okay, all right.
know.
So the grass clippings from the man, okay.
Jack, of course, had a great game to start out, somewhere in the 160-yard rushing. But sitting up in the booth, and sometimes when they run away from you, you see the holes, and he had some great holes at times. So I know that offensive line is doing something.
He also has a great stiff arm. Did you see that stiff arm he gave that kid? And then he about the 20-yard line, and he rolled in the end zone. That's lethal.
One of the first comments I made to Don is I'm very impressed with the Waseca backs getting extra yards after they're hit. Hank Hagan looked pretty good for his first.
Hardware Hank.
Hardware Hank.
Yep.
And Nick Dufault's not your normal high school quarterback that takes a dive when there's a guy 3 steps away. He likes the contact, and he takes it, and he's going to add some stuff as a quarterback.
And he dedicated this season to Kenny the Snake Stabler, passed away this month and a half ago. And I call him the snake. I like Doofy with that left hand.
You know, if you want to find something that wasn't great the first game, I mean, a lot of things were good. We had very few penalties for a first game. I suppose the only thing
personal fouls.
Yep. You could look at is the passing game. We were only 1 for 7 or something throwing the ball, and Doofy did have a couple of tight ends wide open over the middle that he missed. But I don't really worry about him as a passer. We saw enough last year in reserve that he can throw the ball.
Yep.
So that'll come.
Yep. It's just a first game, and we only had, 2 scrimmages where we actually could hit in practice for a half hour. That was it. So you had an hour hitting with 2 weeks of practice, and then you got your first game. I'm interested to see how the injuries go this year for the whole season. You know, we came out of yesterday unscathed. That was great, but you know, you got to hit a little bit.
Yeah, our linebackers appear to be small but quick and hard hitting.
Oh, geez, yeah. How about Bugle Boy, Nick Bugle Boy Buckley? What do you have? 2 sacks, I think. And he and Cyrus
made some big hits. One on a kickoff cover, he came flying down.
And Dufault had a couple. He came up on the option and took out right at the line of scrimmage. And they're looking tough.
Well, Teddy, things will get a lot tougher in one big hurry because coming to town for the home opener next Friday is Marshall, and I see all they did is win 68-0.
Yeah.
And they might be thinking a little of last year to boot.
Oh, yeah, but they got to make the trip here.
That's true. That's true.
That's a long bus ride. And now they talked about, we've got to go there for the freshman team and the B squad. He says it's going to be a 3.5-hour trip because 14 is torn up somewhere, and we're going to have another half hour worth of detours, I guess. So
wonderful news.
Yep, I'd love to hear that.
Well, Teddy, JV and freshman, now you get underway away Monday?
Yep, Elverly comes to our place. We play at 4 o'clock. We're going to have a lot of back-to-back games, even on the road with the B squad. So we play at 4, and the B squad will play at 6. And the kids, you know, they're really looking forward to it, the freshman squad, and they're saying, well, we just want them last year. Well, I tell them things can happen. Somebody transfer in, and all of a sudden they get a new concept, and all of a sudden you're overconfident. So we'll see it happens. But we got a good young squad there. The B squad had a good season last year as freshmen, so we're looking forward to the 2 games coming up. And we're going to follow basically like the varsity schedule a lot, where the varsity plays them, we play them. That's the way it works, so we'll see what happens.
Have any names we should be looking for?
Nope, I don't want to give them any accolades yet. They got to earn them.
I knew that. That's why.
No preseason pizzazz. No.
Well, let's look at the other teams in the area. Waterville, Elysian, Morristown playing a team that Waseca is pretty familiar with. St. James came to Waterville yesterday.
What a long trip for that.
The Buccaneers 50, St. James nothing.
Looks like Wagner's defense got that big spy in the sky about 25 yards back, and he says, make sure nobody scores. Well, the spy in the sky didn't let him score.
Bucks on the way, it looks like, to having another pretty good year. Kind of an upset yesterday. NRHEG went on the road and defeated Mayor Lutheran 14-7. Mayor Lutheran has a big tackle that the Gophers are going at very heavily, but Panthers evidently played pretty well.
There's another 10 players on the team.
No Parpart, though.
No Parpart. Can't tear them apart with Parpart this year.
Well, I'm holding Grant Dewey Air Berg to his word, because he told me the ball would be in the air more this year for the Panthers. So
much like it was in our golf tournament, that ball was in the air.
Yeah, so we'll see, Grant, if the Panther passing game gets tougher and tougher as the year goes on.
He's married now, right?
Yep.
Sugar?
Twins are on the way.
Oh my gosh!
First part of December.
You got our blessing. Do it.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try and get a Todd Mann Memorial Golf Tournament 2016 entry to Airberg, so he signs it before these twins come, because his life's over after that. So yep.
Double trouble.
And JWP, your boy Joey Joyce, opened with a tough one, lost to Fillmore Central, 25-13.
I saw Tommy Gunn Gannon, led him in rushing.
100 yards.
Yep.
And Joey Stockman had 15 tackles.
Yep. And then you got Jolstead had a couple sacks. But I don't know. But second full year they've been 11-man.
Yep.
And Joey, if anybody's going to do the job, he's going to do the job. He's quite the coach.
Well, it sounded like it was a real close game. It was a 1-touchdown game, and Fillmore scored right at the end to widen it a little.
Yeah,
but,
that was the clincher.
Yeah, it'll be fun to keep track of the Bulldogs. Joey, he provides us with a T-shirt now and then, and
Well, he had other things on his mind. He got married.
oh no,
Yep.
there goes the dedication.
His wife's name is Kelly. Okay. All right.
Well, let's look at a few other scores in the area that would interest us for Waseca, who were playing.
Really?
Fairmont, which won just 3 games last year, went against Blue Earth, who had a 9-2 season last year.
And what was the game for? The little brown jug.
I don't know.
Yep,
Is that what they play
that's
for?
what they play for.
Fairmont 27, Blue Earth nothing. What's the word on Fairmont this year? Is it supposed to be starting to come back a little again?
Yep, and usually Brad gives me a report from Kuchenmeister or whatever from Blue Earth, but didn't get a report this year, so I don't know what they're going to be like.
Noam, I saw, lost big to Pipestone.
The Arrows.
Worthington, a future opponent, got shut out in their opener again. So
Yeah, and of all things, we got to go to Worthington
yeah,
again
that's
this
a
year.
nice
Jeez,
one too. I
tell
know
you.
it. I know
We had to go there last year. Oh, man.
Mankato West, who normally scores about 60 a game, is talking about they're going to rely on the defense this year. And they held down Otana 28-6.
I think Owatonna had like 100 yards total offense. What was the score last year? Like 68-0?
Yeah.
With Owatonna is not a cupcake.
But they have come a long ways down since that title team.
That's true.
A few years ago. Little Cleveland, a kind of a neighbor, racked up 70 points in their opener.
And the Clippers, and they got a kid named Kopet, K-O-P-E-T. You're going to hear that name for a bunch of years.
Yeah, started in basketball as an 8th grader, I believe.
Yeah.
And who else am I thinking of?
How about Mankato Loyola?
Loyola defeated Hayfield soundly
They got some
in the
athletes.
first game.
They had 22 guys out, 9 through 12. Can you believe that?
Loyola?
Loyola.
Wow.
And then they are up to 24. They had 2 guys come out and never played before. They had the excerpts on KUIC the other night. They always highlight the teams. But they got some talent. But they better not have any injuries.
Well, this is a little unusual year because this is the first sport underway, too.
Yeah.
Usually Kyle Collins' tennis team has 3 or 4 matches in by now, but they open next week. Soccer opens next week. Volleyball might be a week away yet. And so the strange thing, Teddy, is the Blue Jay football team will have 3 games in before school starts.
No.
And then Mr. Link said, then don't you come back, and it's homecoming right away almost as soon as they get back, I think. So,
Oh, man.
yeah, he said he'd like to have a couple weeks underway before the homecoming terror takes over.
Yesterday we're on the sidelines and we're enjoying the weather. A little breezy, but it was nice Saturday afternoon. Thank God they won early rather than wait for the storm.
Yes.
Okay, so here's Oschlager. Anybody out there can spell Oschlager, just call Andy, okay? First one to get a Ted's turnover. But he's saying, geez, you should wait till 6 weeks from now. I said, 6 weeks from now will be the end of September. It's not going to be real bad then?
No, exactly.
Oh.
So it's good to get the season going again. Next week, if you're looking for something to watch, it'll be a great one in Waseca. Marshall comes to town. Last year, Marshall soundly thumped Waseca here. We went there, and I think Marshall was looking ahead to what they were going to do against Hutchinson, and the Jays stuck it to Marshall in the section game. It's become a good rivalry, hasn't it?
really has.
Marshall and Waseca. It really has.
And Hutchinson lost yesterday to Becker.
Hutchinson lost. They lost 21 seniors from a year ago, so maybe, and Becker's always very good. And I remember the big one last year in the title game. Eden Prairie beat Totino Grace by 1 point. Yesterday they opened up the season. Eden Prairie 14, Totino Grace 13.
Dang.
So boy, there's somebody that can play with Eden Prairie every time, isn't it?
They had the coach on the other night. They do highlights on Channel 11, and he thought they could take him this year, but they're not afraid of him.
No, that's good. So really, we have no other high school sports to talk about yet.
No cross country, no volleyball, no. Girls tennis, did they play?
No, ours haven't.
Louise.
Ours have not. I saw East and West started late last week, had some matches, but ours opened this week.
You know the new coach for volleyball?
No,
for
I haven't
Waseca?
met her.
Okay.
I've heard the name.
Alicia Cox is still part of the program. So
She's from New Prague. She's a New Prague girl.
Okay.
The new coach.
That wouldn't be all right. And soccer, we got the same coach, I think, there, don't we?
Yep.
And then what else?
Cross
Kyle's
country,
back.
Gary's back.
Yeah, Gary's going to go halftime. He and Grant Pop are going to split the cross country coaching.
Kind of grooming him, huh?
Well,
The girls are going to run the same distance as the boys this year.
boy, that Andy's full of information.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! How about tennis? They're going to play the same scores in tennis. Just
You'll have
check
to
it.
have Joel Westman.
Well,
Joel Westman.
let's
Who's
talk
Joel?
about- let's-
Joel Westman. Where's he coming from?
You must mean Bruce.
I get a
Yeah,
guess.
Bruce.
Let's talk about your twins, Teddy. They're
Yep, baby.
back one
Oh,
game over
these-
the 500
These
mark.
people after the Yankees swept, they kissed them goodbye.
Teddy, they are
Oh,
goodbye.
man.
Let's just
They are
get
not
carried
goodbye.
away.
Geez, they turn it right around when 3-0. They're getting carried by the rookies and the
You wanna
doggone
bet-
veterans that do something.
Teddy, you want to
Pelfrey.
bet your house on the playoffs right now?
Well, no, because it's paid for. If it wasn't paid for, I'd do it. Okay. But, hey, Pelfrey. I remember back there 2 months ago. Pelfrey. Who's been their best pitcher lately since the All-Star break? Pelfrey.
Oh, God.
Jeez.
Oh, Teddy.
Hey, how about this Duffy guy? This Duffy guy comes out of nowhere. Last 2 games,
God.
unbelievable.
2 games.
Sano is going to be Rookie of the Year. The kid, guy's tearing the cover off the ball. The pitchers are scared to death of him.
Well,
Jeez.
Teddy, I want to.
Yes.
You should have been in my place last Sunday. The way you idolize these twins.
Well, obviously, I don't want to be if you're not going to join the bandwagon with me.
Well, you would have liked to have been here because I let Mr. Glenn know I was coming up to a game.
Oh.
There was a field pass waiting for me down on the field before the game into the clubhouse.
Isn't that something?
My wife's not talking to me yet because the first guy he introduced me to was Brian Dozer, her hot heartthrob without a shirt on.
Oh, God.
And he talked.
I love
for-
his hair.
He talked for about 4 minutes. He was the friendliest of all. I met Perk. I met Sano. Hi, nice to meet you.
Isn't he a big guy?
Oh my goodness. I talked with Bruno. I talked with Tony O.
Could you talk with Tony O?
No.
Okay.
I said yes to everything he said, and he said yes to everything I said. So, but I said, Tony O, your face looks so young yet. I bet you could still hit line drives. And he went, gave me the fist, and he, hey man.
Way to smooth. What a schlepper there. I tell you.
The one that surprised me more than anybody was Perk.
Really?
Perk is about my height.
Seriously?
He's extremely short.
Oh, my God.
He's
What?
built like a fullback.
Was his neck bothering him then? Because he got that
I don't know,
cortisone shot.
was that why he was talking to me like
Well, it
this?
might have
guy?
been.
Okay. But, yeah, Gino, and people, you can't even imagine how great those guys have it.
You know.
They have perks, but they take 10 steps, Teddy, through the dugout, and there's 3 batting cages waiting. There's computers that analyze their swing, so if they make an out and they're the DH or something, they can go in and check it out before the next at bat.
How about something to eat?
They have their own. Their clubhouse is shaped like a football.
Okay.
Goes out in the middle.
Okay.
We just stood in the front, but Gino said, we have our own restaurant for the players in the back. He was laughing because he said, sometimes on Sunday they don't take hitting practice or infield practice. That's kind of the let's just go out and play day.
Okay.
He said, and it used to be we'd have 3 guys in here 2 hours before the game. He said, now we have 25 guys in here 4 hours before the game because they all go to the restaurant and get what they want to eat. He said, this place is better than their homes. So, yeah, it was interesting to see everything right there. And he said, and you have to share nothing with the visiting team because they have the exact same setup on the other side. So,
Well,
yeah.
And when he was at Denver, a long time ago, and he was third base coach there with Don Baylor, and I was there for, some DECA kids and I were there, and I called him up and said, can we come over in the clubhouse after the game? He said, sure. I mean, very accommodating. And they're ahead 3-1 in the 8th. This Dante Bichette tries to steal third on his own. Gino doesn't give him the sign, so I called down there, and they end up losing the ball game in extra innings of the Cubs because of that stupid play he made. So Gino, I called him up. I said, or he called me and said, you can't come down. Baylor closed the clubhouse because it's Bichette and they lost the game. And Dante Bichette, I don't like that guy ever since. Jeez, it could have been just like you were.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to get down in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Gino, he looks very distinguished on TV with those glasses. I like that.
Doing a good job, isn't he?
Well, I don't know. The other
They're
night,
aggressive.
Escobar, he switched arms on Escobar to just tell him to go score, and Escobar holds up and he gets thrown out at home.
I don't blame that on Gino.
No, that was bilingual communication or something.
Yeah. But yeah, he seems to be enjoying it, and it's quite a setup.
It really
Quite a
is.
setup.
And then they get food stipend too. They
Yep.
get money
Oh,
on the
yeah.
road for
Yeah.
buying food. I'm thinking,
Well,
you're
they
making
make
millions.
money.
Yeah.
They make money on that
Oh,
because
God.
they get like $125 a day, and you know you can go to 2 high-class places and get a couple of steaks, and that's only $100. So
Right.
you're gonna
Yeah, I thought.
Glazed donut with a hamburger on top.
and maple syrup. Yeah, you
You
bet.
people out there, go to the fair stand over Steele County Fair. Today's last day. It's Sunday morning. Go over there and you eat your way out of that place. It's something else. And they got one. They got the Spam dog. You ever had that?
No.
It's a Pronto pup except a Spam rather than a hot dog. And then Hormel came up and threatened to sue the lady that does it. So now she calls them Austin pups because they can't touch her. I thought the lady, she's up to that lady. She's a good lady, good entrepreneur.
Well, put in your quick plug for the Packers.
Well, I didn't wear my relaxed shirt that I had last year. Remember what happened in the preseason? Everybody's, well, the Packers are going to be sucking this year, boy.
Yep.
Well, I don't have my Aaron Says relaxed shirt on, but I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is #1 pick for quarterbacks in the fantasy league, and the guy is at the prime of his career. Might be starting to downslide now a little bit, but I look at the Vikes. I'm watching the Vikes. I like Zimmer.
Yeah, if all our games could be preseason, we're 7-0 with him.
Yeah, but you lost Loholt. That's going to be a big load you lost there. That offensive line.
No loss to me.
Well, no, the offensive line is in disarray right now, and obviously you need some guys that have been together for a while. But Teddy, I love them when they go yelling Teddy, Teddy, and my head just swells. You know, thinking, unfortunately they're not cheering for me. I'm looking forward to it. I like the quick preseasons. Remember the old days? How many games they have? 6 or something like that, and nobody go to them. And watching last night when they empty out the stadium of the TCF with the storm going on, that was kind of fun to watch.
Yeah. Timberwolves, not much news in the offseason other than Flip.
Oh, that and Flip, poor guy. Jeez. But they got Tayshaun Prince signed him the other day. That'll be a good addition. And I don't know, maybe Ricky Rubio will lose his job to Tyus Jones. We'll see what happens.
Well, it'll be good for him to finally have someone that can push him a little.
Yeah,
you bet. And the one thing in closing, Teddy, that we have to talk about, even though it's not very pleasant, the Gopher situation with Maturi, and now also coming out as Winona State men's basketball coach Mike Leaf has resigned because of sexual advances to his own players. What do these people think about?
Well, it comes down to one thing, okay? Alcohol.
Yeah.
All right? Both of them were highly intoxicated when the incidents took place. At the same time, doesn't excuse their behavior, but maybe our society should address a little bit with the drinking.
Yep.
Okay.
And Norwood Teague.
Norwood Teague, there's none alcohol related there. Tiger Woods. I don't know if that was alcohol related or not.
And how about did you hear just yesterday, I think I heard the Wild assistant coach
Sedor
had .30
with his son.
with a son in his that's almost 4 times.
Alcohol.
Yeah. My goodness.
You know what we should do? We should prohibit it.
Teddy, at 3.0, you and I would be on the ground.
No.
Out cold.
No.
Oh, gee. Well, then you're a heck of a man. You're showing
No.
you got a sign of you that I haven't seen.
I was from UW Stout. We were the party school of the United States when I was there.
Yeah, back 40 years ago.
No, I'm just saying that maybe it always comes back to that root, and it's sad. But.
Well, that will do it for this week's show, our first show of season number 6.
Welcome back.
Waseca and Marshall, Friday at Blue Jay
Welcome
Stadium. First of all, we want to thank Ted Hammond, my right-hand man.
Thanks, Teddy.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
to Hudson and Steve Anderson for producing another stellar show, even though Steve talked a little too much on his end. And thanks to you for watching. Hopefully we'll see you next week.